Hey guys, hope you're doing great. I wanted to kind of get Sulian out for you and show you him today. He shed a few days ago, so he's looking really good. He is about 700 grams now. I had him around my neck, but he was hiding his face. I wanted you to get to see his face. But he is our super fly 100% het clown. So if you weren't aware, super fly is basically super pastel and fire together, which creates this right here. And then he's also 100% het clown, so he carries the clown gene. The female that we have for him is Zahara. She's our visual albino, who's also 100% het clown. So one day we're hoping, maybe next season, that these guys can make us some clown babies. But anyway, I figured today would be a good day to do a video about enclosure safety and things that, you know, proper procedures, things that are good, you know, things to kind of practice in your home. You saw the story recently about the man that had over 100 snakes in his house and he passed away. I forget where exactly that was, what state or what location that was in, but I know that he had a lot of venomous snakes and he didn't have a license for those. And I don't recall if he died from a snake bite. There was one article I read where it did say that he did have a snake bite or he was found with one. Other people that have said no, that's not why he died. But anyway, I figured, you know, the topic would be a good thing to kind of discuss because, you know, a lot of times as keepers, you know, especially if you have multiple snakes in your home, whether you have venomous or not, we don't. You know, you want to have some proper safety measures and you want to be responsible. And, you know, you want to make sure that your enclosures are secure and that you're not leaving anything open, because if you weren't aware, snakes are very good escape artists and they can get out and through the tiniest spaces and cracks you would think they would probably never be able to get through. But yeah, they can escape, guys, like they really can. And so you just have to be careful. But I figured I'd talk about some of that kind of stuff today because it's a good thing to talk about. I'm not sure how many of you ball python lovers out there are a part of some of the really big Facebook groups like Ball Python Owners Community on Facebook. But there's quite a lot of people that come in that group and they talk about their snakes getting out and escaping and dying and like all kinds of stuff, like their pets, their other pets getting to their snakes, all kinds of like terrible stuff. And so I just figured that would be something really good to talk about because it's important, you know, being a responsible pet owner in general, but being a responsible snake owner. You just want to make sure that you're doing things that you're supposed to do, because not only do you want to protect your snakes and ensure that they're not getting out and getting themselves into a bad situation where it could be potentially life-threatening. You also want to protect your family if you've got small kids and you have a lot of snakes on the bigger sides and bigger constrictors, and maybe you've got like cats and some small dogs and things like that, or rabbits or any other pets in your home that could be mistaken for a prey item if, say, a large constrictor were to get out. So that's something that I thought would be a great thing to talk about. So we'll go ahead and get into that now. This lighting in here is pretty terrible, but the reason I'm filming right here is because I kind of wanted to show you behind me our rack set up by our TV. You've seen it probably in the last video when I showed you a little slide of it when I was talking about why I don't think racks are cool. That's a good video if you haven't taken the time to watch that one. Okay guys, so when we're talking about this subject, when it comes to enclosure safety or responsible keeping, I want to note that, especially with us, when we look at all these different tanks I'm going to show you in enclosures and things like that, you're going to notice that a lot of them open and close differently. They have different latches, different locks, things like that. And it's important to keep in mind that some tanks or enclosures will be more secure than others. This separate screen top that you can purchase at Petco, if you do purchase a 10-gallon there, is doable. And it's quite safe because you can purchase this, and then you can purchase these tank clips that come separate. They latched, they hook up under here, and they actually latch on both sides. All you gotta do, if you want to remove this top, you have to bend these both back. Now they stay hooked up under here when you do that. So basically you unhook one side and lift it up, and then you unhook the other side and lift it up and take it off. And when you put it back, you want to make sure that both of these clamps are on here. You want to make sure that it's secure. Double check, triple check, whatever you need to do that ensures the safety of your snake. Make sure that if they get out, if they're like a snake that's on the bigger side, like I said earlier, they can't, you know, have access to your other small pets and mistake them for prey. Enclosure safety and being responsible and making sure that everything is secure is a huge one. This is a 20-gallon from PetSmart. This is a 20-gallon from PetSmart, okay? This is a little bit different. It has a sliding top. Now the back and the sides they slide in here, so you can't pull it up at all. But there's these little latches that flip down like that on both sides. You want to make sure that both of these are flipped up to where they're going to prevent this from sliding out, because if you leave them undone, this is what will happen. It can be pushed out by your snake. These are not designed to be able to put a combination lock or a lock and key or anything on here, so you have to rely on these two latches over here. And I'm telling you, you have to make sure they are in the position that they should be in. This is something we double check, triple check every night. My husband and I check after each other. If one of us gets a snake out, goes in to clean or anything, with these especially down here, we are always making sure that they are latched. Now, the snakes that are down here are all babies and juveniles, so they will not be in these tanks forever. Once they grow out, they're going to go upstairs and they're going to go into some secure PVC enclosures that do have locks. But as of right now, while they're young, we are relying on these down here. But like I said, we make sure that these are closed up at night. We want to make sure that none of these snakes get out, because like I said, it's about their safety, it's about the safety of everybody else. We just want to be responsible keepers. Now, this is another tank. If you've ever seen the snake kit from Petco, probably has a corn snake on the box if you've seen it. This is the tank that comes with it. It is also a sliding lid that slides out, okay? But it comes with an actual place where you can do a combination lock. I ordered this. This is actually a combination luggage lock from Amazon. And you can put a combination in here, and you have to do the combination to unlock it. So unless this is unlocked, you cannot get in here. So this is a type of tank that you can actually put a lock on, but unfortunately, I mean, the kit, everything comes with this kit, because it's a tank. It comes with some hides and substrate and some different things. The whole entire kit is like $200. But I mean, I don't think you can get this tank separate outside of getting the kit, but I could be wrong. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so that's another tank that's down here, and that's how that one is secured. Okay, so here's another tank. This one is another one from Petco. This is a 20-gallon instead of a 10-gallon. And we also have some clips from Petco that came separate, because you had to get the tank, the screen top, and the clip separate, but this is a different kind of clip. Same scenario. You've got this part right here that hooks up, it goes up under the lip of the top of this tank. And then you've got this right here, and the way that this works is the bottom of this catches right here, and you have to pop it on here. And you have to make sure the top of this catches on the top lip of the screen. So you have to make sure this catches up here, and you have to make sure this catches down here. And it's on both sides, okay? Now, I know that there's people that use books. You know, there's people that won't even use clips and they'll use books and stuff, like heavy things. You can do that, but I personally, whether I was going to sit anything heavy on here or not, I would always want to have clips on both sides because I just feel like it's better, it's safer, you know, less room for error that way. But that's all the different types of tanks that are down here. All of these other ones on the top and the bottom are all that tank down there I showed you with the two little latches on the side and the bottom pulls out. But I wanted to show you these, that one with the combination lock, this one with the clips, and this one over here with the clips, because those are the three that are a little bit more different, and I just kind of wanted to show you how they work. So those are a little bit more like, you really have to make sure you're using the clips right, because if you don't use the clips right, then your lid is going to be loose and you're going to have problems. Okay, so I wanted to come up here because I wanted to kind of talk about the same subject, but talk about racks and how you want to be responsible with your racks when it comes to enclosure safety. First, let's show you Pumpkin, obviously, because she's adorable. I think she's even bigger than the last time I showed you her on video. Let's see if I can get a better look at her right here. Yeah, I think she's bigger. But even though, you know, Pumpkin is a bearded dragon, let's go ahead and talk about her tank, because it is one that's also from PetSmart. And I forgot to mention this downstairs, that all those other 20 gallons that have that slide out lid with the little two latches on the sides, they all have this too. You want to make sure that this is secure. You don't want to leave this unlatched, because if you leave it like that, your snake can definitely get out. So make sure you pop that down and listen to it click, make sure it's latched. Also, if you're going to have a tank like this, this is the 40 gallon. This is the 40, I think it's, gosh, is it the Thrive? It's either the Thrive tank or the All Living Things brand tank at PetSmart. But you can actually look on here and there's a lock and an unlock. So when you twist these, you twist them that way, you're unlocking it. When you go back this way, you'll hear it click and it's locking, and there's 4 of them, okay? There's 4, there's 2 on each side, front and back. So you have to make sure these are all turn to the left to lock it. Make sure this is popped closed. Also, you've got this. I forgot to mention this too. Those tanks down there also have these. If you have that turned that way, you can pull this whole entire bottom out. It can be pushed out by a strong snake. So go all the way to the left where you've got the lock icon and you've got this little stopper right here. And you're good to go. Make sure it's like that on both sides, because if you leave them like this, your snake can push this bottom out and escape. So with these, you know, you've got the bottom tray that pulls out if you don't lock it, and then you've got to worry about the top. Now, when it comes to single tubs, and I'm not talking about racks yet, but we are about to talk about racks in a minute. When you're talking about single tubs, I want to show you. Okay. What I usually recommend is, if you're going to do single tubs, to get a tub that's got latches on all 4 sides. And the only reason I say that is because a lot of tubs, especially longer 60-quart tubs like this, if you've only got a latch here and on the back, what can happen is, if you didn't have a latch here on these sides can kind of be flimsy and loose, and if you have a snake that's strong enough, it can get out of this. So that's why when I got these, I wanted to make sure that for how long they are, I wanted to make sure there were 4 latches to ensure that the snake cannot squeeze out through the sides right here. So I would recommend that, especially if you have a longer tub. If you didn't have all 4 latches and there were just 2 latches on the front and the back, as long as this lid is and the material that it's made out of, it would give, and it would be a little bit flimsy if you didn't have these extra latches right here. So if you want to do the single tub route and you're shopping for a tub, make sure that you're kind of testing things out. If you do want to pick one out that only has 2 latches on the front and back or the sides, just test it out. See if you can put your fingers up under there. A lot of times you can, and if you can do that, think about what your snake can do. Like I said, snakes can squeeze through pretty much anything if they want to. So I just wanted to kind of talk about that because I've seen a lot of people talk about how their snakes have gotten out of tubs that way. It's a smaller tub right here, and it only has a baby ball python in it. So this is not that big of a deal for it to have 2 latches because of the way that the lip is designed and how thick this top is. She's in shed, so she's in her hide, so you're not going to see her, but it has like a 3-click mechanism on there. So even if you went like that, it's not all the way off. It's almost like it's got like 3 clicks that has to happen before this closes up or comes undone. So this is fine for like a baby snake, baby ball python, something that's not very strong. But like I said, if you're gonna consider a longer tub like the 60 quart, I would be making sure that it had 4 latches because it's just a better idea. Now when it comes to racks, obviously when you pull these out, there's Priya, say hello. If you don't push this all the way in, if you go like that, leave it like that, she's going to try to get out. And she can get out because she is a very big girl. She's a strong girl. So she could get out very easily that way. So if you're going to use racks, all you got to do, make sure you push it all the way in. And even if you think you've pushed them all the way in, come back and check again. That's all you got to do. This is a hatchling rack that's not in use yet. This is from Sea Serpents. They make really awesome racks, but same thing. Little hatchlings can get out. If you don't push these all the way in like that, to where you feel the back of this tub hit the back of this rack, then you could be in for a problem. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helped you out when thinking about enclosures and safety and, you know, certain measures you want to kind of go through when you're keeping your reptiles and snakes and stuff like that, because you just want to be safe. You just don't want to be irresponsible, because that's how bad things can happen. And if you are somebody that lives alone, especially if you keep venomous snakes, I mean, first of all, you need to be trained in that. You need to be educated, and you need to have your license. You just want to make sure that your enclosures are secure. You want to make sure that you're double checking. You want to make sure that as a keeper, you are responsible in that aspect, because your animals are going to be safe, you're going to be safe, your pets, your kids, everybody's going to be safe if you do things the right way. So Lucian wanted to say hey. He is our Butter Mojave blue-eyed leucistic ball python we got from Wilbanks Captive Bred Reptiles. Thought I'd get him out because I don't think I've really gotten him out in any videos, like to hold him or anything. You've seen him plenty in other videos, but I haven't actually just got him out to hold him and feature him like this. But please, if you haven't already, like and subscribe to our channel, and also follow us on Instagram at magic_city_morphs. See you next time.